Hello, my crafty friends. It's Andrea from Prairie Sky Paper Craft, your independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Manitoba. It is time for Share Sunday. The featured card for this week's Copy and Selectively Edit card is this one here. It's on page 38 of the 2022 to 23 annual catalog. So I am taking the basic idea, but I'm changing it up a little, which is what you do when you copy and selectively edit. I'm using the beautifully penciled designer series paper. I've got a piece of basic gray. I've got some of our sweet sorbet designer series paper, which is a new in color for this year. And I'm going to be doing some coloring with our pencils. Now, I'm just going to give my pencils a quick little sharpen here because they're looking a little dull. I love this pencil sharpener. I got it from the dollar store and it works so well. You have to be careful with watercolor pencils because sometimes the leads are a little bit more fragile than a regular pencil crayon. So they can break and crumble quite easily. So I'm just going to grab my pencil crayon, and we're just going to give it a little bit of color here. I'm not sure if I'm going to do anything to blend or if I'm just going to layer up our colors here. Cherry Cobbler, I don't know if I mentioned, Cherry Cobbler and Old Olive are the colors that I've chosen for today. I'm also going to pick up some of our Sweet Sorbet for our sentiment strip. Haven't decided what sentiment I'm going to be using this for yet, or using on this yet, I should say. But I'll decide that in a few minutes. And actually, I think I am going to blend it a little bit. I'm going to blend with the blender pen, not Wink of Stella. Sometimes I like to use Wink of Stella for a little bit of watercolor blending, but today I'm going to just go ahead and use this guy. Really quick, really easy. And with the spotlight technique, you only pick up color on maybe one or two of your images. And you can also just grab color with your brush or your blender and just pick it up and gently apply like I am here. All right, I think I need to do one more. So I'll do this one. I'm just trying to figure out how it's going to look where I am going to be layering our cross pieces. Now, generally when I'm watercoloring or coloring with the watercolor pencils, I don't worry a whole lot about perfect coverage because I'm going to be blending it out with our blender pen. And one of the things that you do want to be mindful of, though, when you are coloring with the blender, is if you're changing colors that are not in the same color family, just to kind of wipe off the tip until no color comes through. Because if you don't, you are going to end up with cross-contamination. Been there. Whoops, just broke my tip. Not a big deal. Been there, done that. It's not such a big deal if you're dealing with darker colors. But if you're working with the lighter colors and you get some cross-contamination where you don't intend it, it's not such a great feeling. Just build this up. And our last one here. Oh, I missed a spot on this flower. I do love this paper. It's all black and whites. I seem to be going into a bit of a black and white paper phase lately because I'm switching off to the green. I'm going to go ahead and give our brush a quick wipe. I love watercolors because it's super quick. And I don't think anybody expects the same level of perfection from watercolor as they do maybe with some other coloring mediums, because it is a little bit more fluid. Okay, so I'm going to put these guys back into their container. I'm going to bring in our basic gray, and we're going to adhere this guy right here. Now I am going to grab the catalog again, just because I want to make sure I've got the crisscross pattern properly. Okay, so page 38. Okay, it's a basic over-under. Okay, so I've got, oops, got one that goes over and one that goes under. So I'm just going to do a little bit of adhesive on the short pieces. Long, 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 long. Oops. I feel like I think I grabbed one too few short pieces today. Not a big deal. I did cut them with my trimmer, but for the last one, I'm just going to measure it and cut it with scissors. It's a fairly short cut. Should be easy to make it straight-ish. I don't know, sometimes cutting longer expanses with my trimmer is a little bit more challenging. All right. So then we've got an over. And this one, we're going to go under. Okay, whoops. This is what we're going to do. Make it a little bit easier. Line these guys up first. Then we're going to line up this one. A little bit onto the inside. Just placing this to get the idea of where I want it to be, and then we're going to fix it up. Oh, that's not quite straight. There we go. I'm just going to gently pry this and put it that way. And gently pry this one. Do it that way. We're going to get our next small one, and then we're going to flip it and do the opposite. So we're going to do under. So I'm just going to slide this guy like this. No, I'm not. Opposite way. There we go. And then we've got an under and an over. And then under, kind of slide it through and line it up. And then grab our last two long pieces here. Oops. And we're going to do the same thing on this one. So this one goes under over. This one we are going to flip so that goes under, over, and then under. And then just line it up, lay it flat. And then our last one, we're gonna do, oops. So this goes over, under. And then under, over. There we go. Make sure it's straight before you stick it down. And then under for this one. And over top. And then under and over. Lift it up gently. Let's do the please don't rip. Nope. Oh my goodness, backwards. Okay. Sometimes spatial stuff is a bit of a challenge. It's all good though. Here we go. Give it a bit of a jiggle wiggle. Yep, that's the technical term in case you're wondering. All right, so there's our crisscross done on this guy. Now we're just going to give it a quick little sentiment piece. You know what? We're just going to do a little sentiment. We're going to do hello from the Hello Ladybug stamp set, which I've been using quite a bit lately for a lot of different things, and I absolutely love it. Now, grab a block. And what color are we going to use? You know what? We're going to stamp it with Starry Sky, which is also one of my current favorites. And I'm going to do, actually, we're going to do a couple of hellos throughout because it's a cute little stamp. And we'll do one more right there. All right, so there is, and this is a tiny little stamp, so I'm going to take it off the block and put it back in the set before I lose it. The little ones always seem to go on their own merry little way. And I think we need, well, I know we definitely need a card base. I think we need a little bit of bling on there too. I've got the classic matte dots right here, so that's what we're going to use. Oh my gosh, taping our hands to the card base. It's gonna be a day. All right, there we go. And now we need a little bit of something, something just to kind of bling it up a bit. You know what? I think we're gonna do the black. We're gonna do it at the cross sections of the first one. Now, of course, if you wanted to, you could pop these guys up on a dimensional just to give it more of a 3D frame kind of a look. But there you go. There is our Copy and Selectively edit out of the the annual catalog for this week. Again, it was on page 38. And that's one of the great things about taking the catalog for your inspiration, is you can take it, put your own spin on it, and make it exactly what you want it to be. I'm really happy with the way this card turned out, and I don't think that this is going to be the last time I try this technique. The paper weaving is really neat, and it gives it a little bit of dimension without adding a whole lot of muss and fuss. So as always, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget, if you're in Canada and need a Stampin' Up! Demo, I would be more than happy to help you out. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and thank you so much for watching. See you soon.